Tau santoshayata santau Srila Rupa Sanatano Dakshinatyena bhattena Punaretadvivichyate Tasyadyam granthana lekham Krantav yutkranta khanditam Pariyalochyatha pariyayam Kritva likati jivakaha. Hare Krishna, welcome to today's Bhakti Sandrabha discussions. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing there are the 5 causes to say Sakshat Bhakti is Abhideya. That means that is a recommended process for the humanity to practice. Of course, in this whole universe, there are so many sadhanas. Out of those, what is recommended for us? Sakshat Bhakti. Sakshat Bhakti Rupam Tat Samukyam Eva Atra Abhideyam Vastu. So Abhideya Vastu is Sakshat Bhakti. So what are the reasons for those, for saying this? Sakshat Bhakti is Abhideya. Abhideya means the method or the process should be practiced. So, okay, Namrach Prabhu, tell me, what are the reasons?
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
The first reason is dharma has to be performed for the satisfaction of Lord Hari.
Yes.
And that has to lead to Vasudeva Katha Ruchi.
Yes.
Because Sakshat Bhakti is the one which is like leading us to this particular stage. So that is like we need to follow Sakshat Bhakti compared to like other processes. And
no, Prabhu, wait. You said that dharma means prescribed duties. They should be performed for the pleasure of the Lord, and that performed dharma for the satisfaction of the Lord will lead to the Vasudeva Katharuchi. This is the statement actually. Who made this? Sutta Goswami made. Where he made Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Radokshaja Ahaituk Apratihata Eatma Suprasidati. So in that sloka, so that is the highest dharma which performed for the pleasure of the Lord, and that is going to lead to the Vasudeva Katharuchi. So that is the meaning of that sloka. So yes, but here how can you relate this point? How can you relate this point to say Sakshat Bhakti is only the Abhideya?
Because Sakshat Bhakti is the goal of like all other dharmas as well, because it has to be practiced for pleasing the Supreme Lord.
No. You said that dharma should be performed for the pleasure of the Lord. Okay, that's true. And such a dharma will lead to the Vasudeva Katharuchi. So how this is going to establish Sakshat Bhakti is the Abhideya? How it can be the reason to say Sakshat Bhakti is Abhideya?
Because Vasudeva Katharuchi is actually like Sakshat Bhakti, because we are directly hearing.
Yes, Vasudeva Katharuchi is nothing but the Sakshat Bhakti. That means Sakshat Bhakti is the goal of the dharma which is performed for the pleasure of the Lord. So that means any dharma, any sadhana, so ultimately should lead to what? So dharma means any sadhana you can take. Any sadhana should lead to the Sakshat Bhakti. That means Sakshat Bhakti, Vasudeva Katharuchi is nothing but the Sakshat Bhakti. So Sakshat Bhakti is being the goal of the all the sadhanas. So that's why Sakshat Bhakti is the Abhideya. So then why we have to practice those dharmas? Instead of practicing that, we will practice Sakshat Bhakti only. That's the point actually. If it is the goal of the all the dharmas, whatever we practice, So then why don't we practice that Sakshat Bhakti only? That is the sense actually. That is the point we should understand. Yes, bro. Okay,
And
next. Yeah, okay, bro. I will ask others. So Ramcharan, bro.
Yes, bro. The next one is no other process can give the result without sakshat bhakti. Like karma and jnana, they are all dependent upon the. We have seen like in multiple anucchedas that even
Yes.
karma and jnana, they are not independent without performing some holy name or some kind of sakshat bhakti. Those process will not give any results.
Yes,
So
bro.
then why to perform those processes?
Yes, bro. Thank you, bro. So this is the point actually. Other sadhanas without Sakshat Bhakti, they are not going to give any result. So then why we need to practice those? Then there is a need. Though there is no need of practicing those. Better practice the independent one, Sakshat Bhakti. Second point is also is the reason to say Sakshat Bhakti is the Abhidheya. So what is the third point? Bhagavan Pandit Prabhu.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I'm not in the class for last 2 days because of some problem.
Sorry, Prabhu. Okay, no problem. So, okay, Rohini Mohan Prabhu, Rukmini Mohan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dhanam Pranam Prabhu.
Dhanavad Pranam Prabhu.
Third point was that bhakti is independent. It can be practiced without any dependence on any other process, any other sadhana.
Yeah,
So why to practice all other sadhanas when the result of all other sadhanas is also included, and at the same time it is independent, not dependent on other sadhanas.
yes, Prabhu, very nice. This is the point. So, if bhakti is going to give result of other sadhanas also, then what is the point of practicing other sadhanas? We will practice only Sakshat Bhakti. So, next, fourth point. So, Saranakant Prabhu. Mm-hmm.
Even the little bit of
Huh.
or semblance of Sakshat Bhakti
Yes.
or success
Little bit or semblance, anything. Yeah.
of Sakshat Bhakti are successful in giving ultimate result.
Yeah, they are leading to Krishna Prema actually. Even the semblance of the Sakshat Bhakti. Example is the mouse case. So that mouse, so just directly offered its, that means that lamp just by dancing. So, which is semblance actually. Mouse didn't offer with the love and devotion that lamp. So it is having a greed of drinking that so oil, and that's why it took that wig into the mouth and it went into the and struck into that mouth, and somehow so it danced in front of that because of that fear of the burning. So it jumped up and down. So this is considered as offering a lamp, and it got that sukriti also. So that means this bhakti is so powerful. Sakshat Bhakti semblance also is so powerful. So it is going to lead to the ultimate perfection. So that's why, yes, we should practice Sakshat Bhakti. That is good actually. And next point. So last and final point. So you're going to tell? Yeah, okay. Tapomai Prabhu.
Harish.
Yeah.
It can be practiced by all the burners in the Sakshat Bhakti.
Yeah. All the varnas are recommended to practice Sakshat Bhakti. Everyone, that means who said this? Narada Muni is saying in the 7th canto, 11th chapter. So in the 30 qualities of the human being, so there all these qualities are counted. So that's why that means Shravanam Kirtanam Bhakti is the dharma for all the entire humanity. So that's why so Sakshat Bhakti should be practiced. It is Abhidheya. So these are the 5 reasons. So we discussed yesterday. So to say Sakshat Bhakti is the Abhidheya. Yes. Yes, I give permission. Okay. So it is sthitam. Next, iyam eva kevalatvad ananyatakya. Iyam eva means sakshat bhakti is kevalatvad. That means it doesn't need any other support, and so that's why it is alone. Sakshat bhakti is alone. So that's why another name of this bhakti is ananya bhakti. You can call it as ananya bhakti. It is another name of the sakshat bhakti. Here we are going to say ananyatakya. Why we are saying it is ananya bhakti? Because it is alone. It alone can do everything. So sakshat bhakti is also known as ananya bhakti. Ananya bhakti. Where it is said. So now we are going to, in this class today, what we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss the various other names of this sakshat bhakti, which we are going to, which we said, whom we said as avideya. So that sakshat bhakti is having the so many names. Those names we are going to see one by one. First name is what? Ananya bhakti. Sakshat bhakti is also known as ananya bhakti, where it is said. So then we have to give proof also. Not simply saying that sakshat bhakti is here known as ananya bhakti. You should give some reference for that. So now we are giving reference from Bhagavad Gita. Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham येऽप्यन्य देवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्य विधिपूर्वकम्. Just I am reading out the BBT translation. Srila Prabhupada's. We need only the name actually, just anyway, just to grasp the meaning. So I am just reading out the one time translation. But here what? Mainly what we are interested in the ananya chintayanto mam yah janaha ye janaha paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So whoever is doing the exclusive devotion, ananya, that means having no other object as worshipable. That means they are worshipping only Krishna. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. What they lack. Whatever you are lacking, Krishna will carry. In the backside, he will be holding those and coming in back to you. Yes, so and I preserve what they have. Whatever you are having, everything he will hold it. So that you will not missing those from you. So that is the Lord's promise. Huh? Everything, whatever good for you, you will be so holding that. Whatever is not good for you, he will taking out. That also he will do that. What? Yeah. Yeah. Nyepyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvita tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhi purvakam avyavahita. That means continuous sloka. Next sloka without, yeah. What it is saying? Ye api anya devata bhakta. Whoever is devotees of other demigods, yajante shraddhayanvita. So worship So those demigods with faith, tepi, those people also, mameva kaunteya yajanti, they are also worshipping me. Okay, but avidhi purvakam, avidhi purvakam. So if anyone worship the demigods, they are also worshipping the Lord. But what is the difference between worshipping someone worshipping Lord directly and worshipping the devatas? So that is also considered as worshipping of the Lord. So difference is avidhi purvakam. That is the wrong way. So that is the wrong way. If some situations, if you find such a situation where you need to worship the demigods, such a situation arises, then how we should worship those demigods? We discussed previously in 106 anuccheda. So we should worship those demigods. Two ways are there. Two choices are given to you. So either you should worship that demigod as the limb of the Lord, like there is eyes, like Surya is worshipped as the eyes of the Lord, and also Indra is worshipped as the Bahu, that means hands of the Lord. So like that, the Lord's universal body is there. In that, these demigods are founded actually in different limbs. So in that way, so you can worship those demigods as the limbs of the Lord. So then this worship will not be so wrong. It's not the avidhi purvakam. Or otherwise, you can worship those demigods as the adhisthana of the Lord. Example, what example we discussed at that time? So one Brahmana story I told, Spotalinga. So Spotalinga. So one time, so that Brahmana was forced to worship the Shivalingam by some village Sarpanch's son. Forced him, that Brahmana, to worship Spotalinga, his Shivalinga. But this Brahmana is very much strict in worshipping Vishnu. He is a Vaishnava and he doesn't want to worship this Shivalinga. So then what he did? So when he was forced, he was chanting the mantras for the Nrsimha and offered the flowers. So then this person, this Sarpanch's son, observed this and he raised his sword. Then immediately from that spot, from that linga, who came? Nrsimha came, and he killed his followers and him also. That person who forced him. So that Brahmana was worshipping in that Shivalinga Nrsimha Bhagavan. So that is the one of the examples. That means you can take, that means that demigod as the adhisthana of the Lord Vishnu. Yeah. So that is adhisthana of the Lord, like that. The adhisthana means is a sitting place or residential place of the Lord. So like this. Yeah. Vibhuti. Another point is you can worship demigods as the vibhuti of the Lord. Vibhuti means it's not the avatara. What is the difference between the amsha and vibhuti? Amsha is more energy. Vibhuti means is a slight energy. Slight energy of the Lord is given. Opulence of the Lord is given to that such certain jivatma. Then it will be considered as demigod. So otherwise, third also is there. You can worship them as vibhutis of the Lord. But all devatas are not the devotees of the Lord. We cannot say that. That's the problem actually. You can worship them as vibhutis of the Lord. So this is the Lord so and so vibhuti. This is the Lord so and so vibhuti. Like this also you can worship. So these are the different ways. But if anyone worship demigods directly, then it is avidhi purvakam. It's not correct. It's not the right way. Anyway, so in these two slokas, what we are observing, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam is saying that one should exclusively worship Lord. And next sloka is saying that one should not worship others. So that means what? First statement is positive statement. Second statement is negative statement. That means negatively. So Krishna's worship only established even in the second statement also. You should not worship others means you should worship Krishna. And in the first sloka, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, there, so directly worshipping of Krishna is recommended for us. So that's why iti avyavahita vakyadvaye anvaya vitirekoktya ananyatvam nama hi anyopasana rahityena tad bhajanam uchyate. Now you tell me what is the meaning of ananyatvam? What you understood from these two slokas? Ananyatvam means, so ananyatvam means anya upasana rahityena tad bhajanam, worshipping the Krishna without worshipping other demigods is known as ananyatvam. So I will be asking question like, what is the meaning of ananyatvam? So write this. Ananyatvam means worshipping the Lord without worshipping other demigods. Anya upasana rahityena tad bhajanam. So that's why sakshat bhakti is what? Ananya bhakti. When it is called as sakshat bhakti is ananya bhakti, when you use that sakshat bhakti, that means shravanam kirtanam, to worship only Krishna, not and where you are not worshipping other demigods. It's not that I will worship Krishna also and I will worship so demigods also. Both I will worship. What is there? So anyway, I'm offering flowers to Krishna also. What is there? I can offer 2 flowers to here. So Kali Maya and this Maya, that Maya and everyone. Then what will happen? Is it okay? Oh, Gopi Jan Prabhu, yes.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, this Ananya is applicable to only demigods, right? Suppose if I'm worshipping Nrsimhadeva as well as Krishna.
Yeah. Acha, you are asking like that. So those are all actually considered as Vishnu's direct amshas, swamshas. So that is considered as the worshipping of Krishna only.
So
but
still,
when you do the exclusively, that means when you refine it actually. So then we are developing our relation with whom? With Krishna. Even Krishna also, which Krishna?
Vrindavan Krishna.
Only Yasoda Nandan. Not even the Devaki Nandan. We are not, our acharyas. So refine it, and finally he will establish in the 10th canto, if you see, in the 4th chapter. So, and also several places, even in the message to Uddhava, there also will be seeing Uddhava message to Nanda Maharaj and these Vrajavasis. In that chapter also will be seeing. So the highest devotion is towards what? Is towards the expressed by the gopis in the Madhuri Rasa. Gopis are the extreme, so they are worshipping the Yashodanandan, and also Yashoda Maya is the extreme in Vatsalya Rasa, and you can see the extremity of the Vatsalya Rasa in that 46th chapter of the 10th canto, and there you can clearly see. So Yashodanandan is the desirable object. That means he is our desire. We are developing our whole devotion, our mood, bhava, so for him. So then, yeah, then we'll be seeing. But now we are seeing everything as a one total. So that's why we are seeing all swamshas as a one. But when you ask specifically, then we have to develop exclusively for. So being a follower of the Rupa Goswami, so being connected to this sampradaya, so following our previous acharyas, and we should develop the taste of this bhakti rasa for the Yashodanandan.
So at that advanced stage, even praying Nrsimhadeva for protection also is not required. That's what you mean to say.
Yeah, yes. In exclusive, then it's pointed to that. Even at the time, we don't see the Aishwarya, like in the Mathura Krishna, is that means when he was staying in the Mathura, he was a king, and in the Dwarika also is a king, Dwarika Krishna. So this also we are not going to worship, because we are seeing. So there the question comes actually, why actually Krishna, when he was in Mathura, so to kill Kamsa, he came to Mathura and he didn't go back to Vrajavasis, to the Vrindavan back. So there is a question raised by our acharyas. He could have taken these gopis to Mathura, and he is a big king and he can keep somewhere. What is the problem actually? So why he didn't do that? There actually point comes then. And there you can clearly understand that Krishna doesn't want to disturb them actually. So if they come, how they will feel? They are the village girls and they want to see Krishna with the as their mate. That means like their friend and their lover. So in that way, and they have the so much intimate relations which are possible only in the village environment, in Vrindavan only. But if you go to the Mathura or the Dwarika, there, so everything Krishna, how he will be seen? He will be seen as a king, and he cannot be seen as a friend. So there, the Gopas, they are going and immediately in the public court. So in the royal court, they cannot put hand on him and like this, oh my dear friend, and like that, they cannot jump on him. They also have to maintain like this, which is not at all desirable by the Lord also. He doesn't want that kind of relations from the Gopas or the Gopis. So that's why he didn't take back them. So like a lot of discussion, you can see the acharyas, how they were explaining, of course. So that's why, so the favorable mood we should develop according to instructions of our acharyas. That is, so towards the Yashodanandan in Vrindavan, actually we want to worship Krishna in Vrindavan. And there Yashodamaya cannot take stick and go behind him, saying that royal in such a public, and there are big many officials, that is official place that is suitable for the Devaki and Vasudeva. And because they have the love, that kind of love, they see the Aishwarya Bhava. So by hearing the Aishwarya Bhava, so some kind of affection, that is compared to Yashodamaya, so compared to Vasudeva and Devaki, whose love is more? That means Yashodamaya's love is more or the Devaki's love? Yashodamaya's love is far, far superior than the Devaki Maya. So because that is that is the highest desirable by the Lord. Lord wants to taste that. Yashodamaya can take him, and he is not at all thinking that I should meditate on the lotus feet of the my Krishna. No, that is only we dasas we try to do. But she will never, hey, Krishna, come and sit. And they will be, if Krishna is coming and she will be, so whatever she is eating, she will be immediately put in his mouth also. Lala, aja, just take. So like that. So that is the love actually. Krishna wants to taste, and that is the highest love. So that is possible only in the Vrindavan. So that's why we will worship the Vrindavan Krishna. Yes, Archana Bhakti Mother. Yes, Mother.
But Prabhuji, in Vaidhi Bhakti, we are actually worshipping with awe and reverence, right, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Prabhupada said that when we are worshipping Radha Krishna, we should do in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan.
Vaidhi Bhakti, yes, we were worshipping with the, actually there is some kind of sastrians. So yesterday we were discussing in Madhuri Kadam also, that the roughness is there, that two leaf is having the two sides. As upper portion, lower portion is so rough because, so that is who is having adhikara in the lower surface, who is having adhikara? Vaidha is having the, so Vaidha is having the Vaidha, the king Vaidha is having the, so control on this bhakti is impelled by the sastric injunctions actually. So initially we'll be having that only, that should be there, because we don't have any raga now. That means natural greed we don't have. So to worship the Lord, so who can be to the Raganu Bhakti? Whoever is having the Lobha, greed. So that is not there. So that's why we are not having any adhikara for that. So we will be worshipping the Krishna only. So same, we will be having the target, but we don't have any bhavas. So what is the difference between the Raga Bhakti and this Vaidhi Bhakti? The difference is they will be having this that mruduta, that means soft relations they will be having in the case of Raganuga Bhaktas. But in the case of the Vaidhi Bhaktas, there is no smooth relations. Just we don't have any bhava, nothing. So just we are so impelled. We are injunctions. We are following the injunctions of the shastras. Okay. Anyway, so we will be continuing our discussion here. So like this, iti avyavahita vakya ananyatvam means, so worshipping only Krishna and not worshipping other demigods or others, demigods or anything actually. So, but you should have respect. It doesn't mean that the not worshipping other demigods means you should not offend them. So, or you should not take him so cheaply, and you should not think that you see they are inferior. No, that even you should not disrespect even a small ant also. Then what to speak of the demigods? So, if you see the Kapil Bhagavan's teachings, there we were seeing. So every living entity, that means Kanishta Adhikari, if he wants to progress in his devotion, he has to have the Bhutadaya. That means compassion towards the living entities. What kind of compassion? Not the general compassion, material compassion, just seeing that Jivatma as like Bharata Maharaj was seen. Like that kind of attachment, love should not be there. But that Jivatma has to be so respected by seeing there is. So Paramatma, at least you should know. You may not see immediately, but at least you should know, and in that way, so you should have respect for the others. So then what to speak of the demigods? So the respect is always expected. Next, ettam eva angikrutam apiche suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak ityadau tasyascha ettam eva angikrutam. In the same way, so angikrutam, this is also accepted. Apiche suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak. Here vananya bhak, ananya word, we are giving the ananya word, we are finding one more place. Where is that? Apiche suduracharo, there also we are seeing. And anyway, if someone who is doing the ananya bhakti means worshipping Krishna and not worshipping others. That is the meaning, that's all. And bhakti means what? Sakshat bhakti. Okay, doing the sakshat bhakti, so for the sake of Krishna and not worshipping other demigods, is known as ananya bhakti. So this is the point. And this is also said in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 30th sloka. Yattameva means in the how it is said in the Ananyas Chintayanto Mam there. The same here also said in the Sapicha Sudurachara also. Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhak. That is a word you should note. So we are seeing that different names of the Sakshat Bhakti. So when we call Sakshat Bhakti as Ananya Bhakti, when that Sakshat Bhakti is done for the sake of Krishna and not worshipping the others. So then that is known as Ananya Bhakti. Next, Tasyascha Mahadurbodhatvam Mahadurlabhatvam Cha Vuktam. And few more properties we are saying about that Sakshat Bhakti. What is that? Sakshat Bhakti is Mahadurbodhatvam. That means it is difficult to understand. And Mahadurlabhatvam. It is difficult to get. It is rare to get. Mahadurlabhatvam cha vaktam. So now we have to give the references for that. What we are saying, Sakshat Bhakti is difficult. Tasyasya durbodhat means Mahadurbodha. It is very difficult to understand this. That means many people, they don't know about this Bhakti. Many people, they don't know. So they don't know means they don't know the glories of this Bhakti and how it is so powerful, Sakshat Bhakti. Many they don't know. That's why it is said Mahadurbodhatvam. That means it is very difficult to know the glories of the. So that means very rarely people know the glories of the Sakshat Bhakti, and also it is very rare to get. So that's why what is the reference for Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam? This one. Navai vidurushayo napi deva. Who is saying this? Our dear Yamaraj is saying. We discussed this in the previous anucchedas. But anyway, we can just read out the translation. Okay, you read out 639. Yes. See 6319. You first read that and next.
Yes, bro. Real religious principles are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although fully situated in the mode of goodness, even the great rishis who occupy the topmost planets cannot ascertain the real religious principles, nor can the demigods or the leaders of Siddhaloka, to say nothing of the asuras, ordinary human beings, Vidyadharas and Charanas.
Yes, thank you. So this Sakshat Bhakti is given by the Supreme Lord. Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. This is given by the Lord himself. We know that how in the Chatushloki Bhagavatam we are seeing. So Supreme Lord is teaching Sakshat Bhakti to Sakshat Sadhana Bhakti to so Brahmaji and also Prema Bhakti. This in the Chatushloki Krishna himself is giving this Sakshat Bhakti. So Bhagavat Pranitam, this one is not ascertained. It cannot be ascertained by the. So what is the things he said here? Although fully situated in the mode of goodness, even the great rishis who occupy the topmost planet cannot ascertain the real religious principle. That means even the great rishis, they are situated in the fully in the mode of goodness, but still they are not able to ascertain, they are not able to so understand that this Sakshat Bhakti is the highest religious principle. This is a point we should understand here. Yeah. Navai vidu rishayo napi devaha. Even so, demigods, nor can the demigods or the leaders of the Siddhaloka. That's why this is establishing what? Durbodhatvam, Maha Durbodhatvam. Even great rishis, they don't know that this Sakshat Bhakti is the highest religious principle or highest sadhana or the highest method to be practiced. There's a point. Okay. Next point, what we have to establish, this Sakshat Bhakti is Maha Durlabham. That means it's difficult, very rare to get. So for that, one more sloka is given. Ye vyarditamapi ye vyarditamaicha no nrugatim prapannaha. So this translation. (3:15:24).
Lord Brahma said, "My dear demigods, the human form of life is of such importance that we also desire to have such life. For in the human form, one can attain perfect religious truth and knowledge. If one in this human form of life does not understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is about, it is to be understood that he is very much affected by the influence of external nature."
Yes, so third canto, 15th chapter, this here's 24 sloka. So Brahmaji is ye bhyarjitam api cha no nrugatim prapannaha gnanam cha tattva vishayam sahadharmam yatra naradanam bhagavata vitaran chamushya sammohitvataya bhata mayate. Who is saying this? Brahmaji is saying to demigods. Are demigods saying to Brahmaji? Brahmaji is saying to demigods, no? Huh? So Lord Brahma said, actually Brahmaji is saying to demigods. So my dear demigods, it is there in the translation where you are searching. Where he is saying, actually, context this is like this: Brahmaji and Devatas. So Devatas, because of the Hiranyakashipu is in the womb of Diti. So at that time, whole universe is in the darkness because of these people's influence, because they are very weak people. So that whole the effulgence and the power of the demigods is suppressed, is covered by this influence of this Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha who are in the womb of Mother Diti. Then all the demigods went to Brahmaji and they started asking what is the reason for this. Then he started explaining that this is the reason is, so this once upon a time there are the Jaya and Vijaya. So those only are now in the womb of Diti. Why they are there? Then he is explaining that. So these people, so one time four Kumaras went to that Vaikuntha. So at that time there is an argument between them and they cursed. So then that's why they fell down. That is the history actually. That's the context. So in that context, so Brahmaji is saying, in that context, that means while he was speaking with these demigods, so at that time he was speaking this. My dear demigods, the human form of life is of such importance that we also desire to have such life. Even demigods also, we means, so demigods, that means Brahmaji is saying to other demigods, we all desire the human form of life. Why the human form of life is desire? Because it is suitable for, in the human form, one can attain perfect religious truth and knowledge. That is the advantage of the human form of the life, because one can easily understand the supreme truth. So that's why if anyone get the human form of life and is not able to practice the Krishna consciousness, then what is that? It is, if one in this human form of life doesn't understand the supreme personality of Godhead and is above, it is to be understood that he is very much affected by the influence of external nature. That means na aradhanam bhagavataha vitaranti amushya sammohitaha vitataya bata mayaya. That means they are completely in the influence of Maya. They are bewildered by the Maya. So janmacha tattva vishayam, so sahadharmam yatra nrudgratim prapanna. That means ultimately now you should understand. So this sakshat bhakti process is easily accessible to the human form of life. So, and human form of life is very rare to get. So that's why in this way we are saying that this sakshat bhakti is very rare to get, which can be practiced in the, especially in the human form of life. So that is a point actually. Okay, now we saw that sakshat bhakti are also known as ananya bhakti, and that is maha durlabha and also maha durbodha. Two references we give. This much should be clear. Then next, श्रवणादि रूपायाः तत् साक्षात् भक्तेः सर्व विघ्न निवारण पूर्वक साक्षात् भगवत प्रेम फलदत्वे स्थिते महादुर्लभत्वे च सति अन्य कामनया च न अभिधेयत्वम्. So you see one point we are keep on adding. We gave the 5 reasons. So to 5 reasons. Actually, this chapter name is Pure Devotional Service. So we gave 5 reasons to practice or to say Sakshat Bhakti as Abhideya. Okay, this is over. And next you said one more point. Sakshat Bhakti is known as write it. Ananya Bhakti. When, what is the condition? So, when Krishna only Krishna is only worshipped and not others. Okay, next. This is so Maha Durlabha. This Sakshat Bhakti is Maha Durlabha. What is the reference? 3:15:24. Next, one more point. This Sakshat Bhakti is Maha Durbodha. Rare to get. No. No. Maha Durbodha. Sakshat Bhakti is 6390. Okay. Next, what we are saying. Now we are saying this Sakshat Bhakti Tadevam tasyaha Shravanaadi Rupayaha. This Sakshat Bhakti is in the form of Shravanadi. That means Sakshat Bhakti means Shravanam, Kirtanam, and so and so. Navada. Like that, so and so. This form of Sakshat Bhakti is this. Navadha Bhakti. So and so. Navadha Bhakti. So Navadha Bhakti. So in the Shravanadi Rupayaha Sakshat Bhakti Sarva Vigna Varana Purvaka. This what is going to do this? This Navadha Bhakti or Sakshat Bhakti destroys all the obstacles. All obstacles and bestows the Sakshat Bhakti. If you practice that, then that bestows what? Bhagavat Prema. Bestows love for Lord. This is going to bestow this. So that's why this Sakshat Bhakti is destroying all the obstacles and it is bestowing the love for the Lord. So then what you should not use this. That's why, therefore, I'm writing in the same point. Therefore, you should not use this Sakshat Bhakti for other purposes. You should not engage or you should not use Sakshat Bhakti for other purpose, means other than the love for the Lord. Other purposes. Okay. This is a point. Yes, Prabhu. Gopijan, Prabhu. So what is the reference for this? 4, 24, 55 is the reference. Yes, Gopijan, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I'm sorry. I'm going back to the same point.
Yes,
in the Ananya Bhakti,
Yeah.
how do we understand
Yeah.
or what explanation Acharyas have given for these Vraja Gopis who worship the Katyayani to achieve Krishna?
Yeah. So those whenever we see some Parshadas of the Lord they are worshipping, so then we should understand that those forms are existing in the spiritual world. So though they are worshipping the Katyayani, means they are worshipping the Durga who is in the spiritual world. So in the Peta Puja we see the Durga in Durga also in who is in the Avarana, she is also in the circumference of the Lord Radha Krishna who is in the center, and in that there are various layers are there. So in that one layer you'll be seeing the Durga, and they are worshipping that's a spiritual form, not the material Durga. Like that we should take. Okay. Now here, so 4, 24, 55.
Thank you. There is one more small doubt.
Yeah.
Prabhuji said that this Ananya Bhakti can be practiced in the human life.
Yeah, Sakshat Bhakti is easily practicable. It can be practiced in human form of life. Who is saying? Brahma is saying. Brahma is saying to his other colleagues, that means other demigods.
Even even Vaidhi sadhana bhakti also cannot be followed by any other form of the living entities, isn't it not, Prabhuji?
Vaidhi sadhana, yeah. So other species, so understanding and practicing, so it is very difficult actually. Even great sages also, who are in the mode of goodness, Navai Jano Vidusha. So even great sages also and demigods also don't know. That's why we said that 6319 is saying that Durbodha, Maha Durbodha. So they don't understand this is the highest principle of the uh, practice. It is the highest method. So even those demigods also don't know this. And it is very rare to get, because what is the reason for this? We have seen previously, even Prahlad Maharaj is saying to his friends, so Durlabham Manusha Janma. Why he is saying Durlabham Manusha Janma? You remember this? So he is saying to whom? He is saying to the Asura Balakas, demonic demons children they are. So to them he is saying Manusham Durlabham Manusha Janma. So there also he is saying we are Prahlad Maharaj also is glorifying human form of life is very rare to get. So in what sense it is said? In what sense it is said? I am asking. What sense? Sarveshwar. Okay, you yes, Prabhu. Pitambar Chaitanya Prabhu. There, what is the commentary we read? Do you remember?
Although they are a demonic, the son of demons,
Yeah, yeah.
but still their human intelligence is there, a special human intelligence which can practice, which cannot be practiced by other species like animals.
Yeah, yeah. Why
They-
not other species? Why
The
Prahlad Maharaj?
discrimination power is not there. That kind of, just like in animals, they don't have. like
Animals,
human.
okay. And animals, they don't have viveka. So that's why they cannot understand the glory of this Sakshat Bhakti and they cannot practice. Then why not the other species? We don't have not only animals, but other species, higher species also there. We are superior to the human beings. So why can't those? So those can, yes.
So that also there, because this human species, this Martya Loka, this is for bhakti. Others like Loka, just like a Swarga Loka.
Yeah.
Their bhog yoni is that.
Yeah, that
and
is the
other-
answer actually.
And
Yes.
other Nark Loka, Yatana yoni is that. In both cases, cannot be practiced.
Yeah.
That is
So if you,
suitable.
yes, Prabhu. So if you go to the demigods, you may say then, oh, better than the human beings, demigods are there. Then why? So they are not able to get this bhakti easily because that is the reason actually. There, Prahlad Maharaj is also saying, because in that body, in the demigod's body, what is the inclination of that Jivatma at that time in that body is enjoying. Excess enjoyment. It is engrossed in the enjoyment actually. So that's why in the demigod body, it is very difficult to get the or understanding the glory of the Sakshat Bhakti and practicing, because the too much enjoyment is there. And if you go to the down, so down, that means human being is human species, human platform is in middle. So there is higher and lower. In the highest, too much enjoyment. That's why they cannot understand this bhakti glories. And if you go to down, they don't have inabilities actually, lack of intelligence. So that's the suitable form of the species of for understanding this glory of the bhakti and practicing is human form of life. That's why again and again you'll be seeing in the Prahlad Maharaj saying, and here Brahmaji is saying, so this human form is the best suitable form to practice this bhakti, and where getting that human form is rare. So that's why, so bhakti, sakshat bhakti is rare to get. Durlabha. That's the reason, bro. Okay, next. So now we have to see the fifth point, Prabhu. So here what we are saying, therefore you should not use sakshat bhakti for other purposes, because it is directly giving the prema, which is the highest result. Then why you have to use that for other purposes? You should not use. Yes, because it is going to give the higher thing. Then if you are able to purchase by 100 rupees, so 10 kgs of the some aloo, then why you will purchase the 1 kg actually? You should use for the maximum benefit only, not for the lower benefits. So that's why if it is going to destroy all the obstacles and give the Krishna prema, then you should use for that only. Then that is intelligence. And if you don't use for that purpose, and if you use for the other purposes, then it's not good. Then that cannot be abhidheya. That kind of abhidheya is not recommended. That means practicing sakshat bhakti for other purposes is not recommended. That is not abhidheya. That is not the process. Question? Yeah.
Yeah, it's in relation to the previous points about that. Not so many people or living entities know about the glories of sakshat bhakti. I was just thinking, you know, what is it? Anatopasam sakshat bhakti yoga dokshaje lokasya ajnato. So it's can it be used as the pramana for the same? Because sakshat bhakti lokasya ajnataha. So people in general don't know. And that's why.
Yes.
The learned Vyasadeva wrote.
Yes, that's why he is saying, Narada is saying to Vyasadeva. Yes, yes. Yes. So now in this 24th chapter, it's Rudra Gita actually. So 4:24:55. So Lord Rudra is saying this. So tam duraradya maradya satam api durapaya ekanta bhaktya ko vanchet padamulam vina bahihi. So main point is, you can read translation.
My dear Lord, pure devotional service is even difficult for liberated persons to discharge, but devotional service alone can satisfy you. Who will take to other processes of self-realization if he is actually serious about the perfection of life? Yes, so 4:24:55. Who will take to other process of self-realization if he is actually serious about the perfection of life?
Padamulam is there. Here, Padamulam word is not came. Ekanta bhaktya padamulam vina bahihi vanchet. That means by this ekanta bhakti, other than the padamulam, that means your lotus feet, outside things. Padamulam vina, without padamulam bahihi, that means other things. So other things, kaha vanchet, who will desire? Who can desire? Kaha vanchet, who can desire? So other things than the your lotus feet. Like that, it should come like that. Maybe that's with the other acharyas give like that. That's why there is written like that. Maybe. Yes, Bhagavan Pandit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji here said, these destroy all obstacles. And
Yes.
what is the difference between all obstacles and other purposes? Can obstacles can be other purposes, or it is sense gratificant desires this purpose?
Yeah, all obstacles, it comes in that even if you say material desires also, it's going to destroy. Can you mute? So I'm getting this one.
Then it is said.
Okay. So what I want to say, you are asking question that Prabhu, bhakti, the sakshat bhakti is destroying all the obstacles.
It cannot be other purposes?
We are getting echo from your side because those Satsai, can you mute it, and when you need to speak, then at that time. We are getting echo. You can mute it, please mute it. Yeah, let me answer, then you can on and you can speak. So yeah, you are asking that Sarva Vigna Nivarana Purvaka Sakshat Bhagavat Prema Phala Datve. So that means it is going to give directly the love for the Godhead. So that means also it is going to destroy. Before that, it is going to destroy all the obstacles. So then that's why better. That's why Sati Anya kamanaya cha na videyatvam. So this is indicating that one should not practice bhakti, sakshat bhakti, for other purposes. It is indicating that. That means the bhakti practicing for others cannot be the avideya. Bhakti, sakshat bhakti, practicing for other results cannot be the avideya. Cannot be the avideya means cannot be the standard process. So what is the recommended process? Standard or recommended process? You should engage sakshat bhakti for getting the love for the God only, not the other things. So then it is not abhideya. If you engage sakshat bhakti for other reasons, then it cannot be abhideya. It cannot be abhideya. That means it is not the recommended way of doing the sakshat bhakti. So even if you do sakshat bhakti for the material desires, then what will happen? We studied this. Yes, Prabhu, now you can. What will happen?
You explain. My question is, Prabhu,
Yeah, please, Prabhu.
these destroy all obstacles.
Yes.
Okay. Whatever obstacles come in the bhakti.
Yes.
So that here, if you are using this bhakti for destroying obstacles, cannot use the other purposes than getting the love of Godhead?
Destroying the obstacles. Sorry, I didn't get the.
Yes. Again, destroying obstacles. If we use Sakyat Bhakti for destroying obstacles, it cannot become the other purposes than getting the love of God. I'm saying. So this destroy of obstacles is equal to other purposes. It cannot be like that.
Acha, you are asking like that. So yeah, sakshat bhakti, why we are doing and we are using, that means so it's natural quality, that is destroying the sarva vigna haratvam. So soka moha bhayapaha. So this is the natural quality of the bhakti actually. So there is no need to desire, it is going to happen automatically actually. So that's why we need to focus on how to please the Lord, and that is the thing we should focus. And when we are steady in the devotion as prescribed, satovritti, as prescribed by the previous acharyas, so all the obstacles will be destroyed by it itself. So there is no need of desiring anything. So because that is a natural property. So you don't need to desire to put your finger on the fire and, oh, I am now desiring to burn my finger. No need to. That's a natural quality of that fire actually. Similarly, so kleshagni is the natural quality of the sadhana bhakti. Kleshagni, destroying the all the anarthas, different kinds of anarthas. Kleshagni, and also subhada. Subhada is also is a natural quality. So that's anya abhilashsa sunyam. There anya. So that means having, that means other desires. So that because kleshagni and subhada are the two leaves of the sadhana bhakti, and that so automatically manifesting that kleshagni and subhada. That means kleshagni means destroying the different sins. Okay, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So next, so 4:24:55. Ko vanchet padamulam vina bahihi. Who will desire? No one will desire. So without your lotus feet, so that is clear from this. Next point. Iti tanmatra kamanayam cha bhaktehe eva akinchanatvam akamatvam cha sangnapitam. That means we are doing sakshat bhakti for only Krishna prem. That is the abhideya. Sakshat bhakti should be done for only bestows the Lord, bestows love for the Lord. And next, one more point we are adding here. What is the next point? Tam duraradhyam, sorry, iti tanmatra kamanayam cha. So that means now you are desiring only so Krishna prema by from the Sakshat Bhakti. So then what happened? Then bhakti akinchanatvam akamatvam cha sangnapitam. So akinchanatvam. And akamatvam. Yes. This 7 point will take. So here that matta pyananta pyanantat parata parasmat swarga pavargadipate nakinche yesham kimu syaditarena tesham akinchananam mai bhakti bhajam iti Sri Rishabhadeva Vakyat. Rishabhadeva's sentence is establishing the akinchanatvam. What is the meaning of akinchanat? It's 5. 5:25. What Rishabhadev is saying? Translation.
I am fully opulent, almighty, and superior to Lord Brahma and Indra, the king of the heavenly planets. I am also the bestower of all happiness obtained in the heavenly kingdom and by liberation. Nonetheless, the Brahmanas do not seek material comforts from me. They are very pure and do not want to possess anything. They simply engage in my devotional service. What is the need of their asking for material benefits from anyone else?
Yes.
I think it already came in previous anuccheda.
This one,
same sloka.
Okay. So here Rishabhadev is saying that I am superior to Brahmaji and also Indra and so and so. That means he is in such a great position. So nakinchit, they are nothing in front of me. He is saying, Esham kimusyaditarena tesham akinchananam mai bhakti bhajam. But those devotees who are doing the bhakti in me, they are akinchanas. Akinchana means they are not desiring anything from material from the Lord. Akinchananam, anything material they don't desire. So esham kim syaditarena, then what they will get from the others? Because they don't have anything, so any material desire. But all other demigods, everyone is great, are the bestowers of material desires. We have seen Durga, Shiva, Indra, Surya, so and so. All these demigods, they are bestowing the different material desires. But here Rishabhadev is saying, my devotees, they are akinchanas. That means they don't desire anything so from me, because even I am superior to the Brahmaji and also Indra, but still they don't ask anything. Only they do bhakti in me. So then for those people, what is there to so get from the other people, other devatas? What is there? Nothing. So like this, Rishabhadev is saying, so from this also we are understanding that. So then, so that means now from the 5th we are seeing So Sakshat Bhakti should be done for the Krishna Prema. So that's why that point is leading to the akinchanatvam of these worshippers. That means they will not be desiring the other things. They are desiring only Krishna Prema. Some people may get doubt. Okay, they are desiring Krishna Prema and also they may desire some material Prema also. They may say, na, actually. So that's why now we are exclusively saying that they don't desire any other thing. So in the fifth point, what we said, in the fifth point, Sakshat Bhakti, so he is going to destroy all the obstacles and it is going to give the directly love for the God, so Supreme Lord. So then, therefore, you should not use Sakshat Bhakti for other purposes. So that means Bhakti using for other purposes, Sakshat Bhakti using for other purposes cannot be Abhideya. And now we are substantiating, that means from based upon fifth. So these desire, that means devotees who are desiring, targeting Krishna Prema, they don't desire other things. Akinchananam. That is said here. That's why here Sakshat Bhakti is also known as Akinchana Bhakti. Sakshat Bhakti is also known as Akinchana Bhakti because so they are desiring the only, they are doing Sakshat Bhakti for Krishna Prema, and by that they are not having the any desires. So because of that Bhakti taste, so they are not getting any other desires. So that's why they are, it is also known as so Akinchana Bhakti. Why? So Sakshat Bhakti is known as Akinchana Bhakti because Sakshat Bhakti is always targeted for the Krishna Prema, and that is directly giving the Krishna Prema. So it is that's why everyone will target that Sakshat Bhakti for the Krishna Prema, and those kind of devotees will not desire other things, other material things. So that's why it is known as, with that perspective, with that angle, with that perspective, with that you can say that this Bhakti is also known as Akinchana Bhakti. Yes, Prabhu.
We should use, we heard here, we should not use Sakshat Bhakti for any other purpose except love for Krishna.
Yes.
And also we heard somewhere else, and here also that point is that akama sarva kamo va moksha kamo
It's coming, Prabhu. Next point. Yeah, next I'm coming to that. Okay. So next, akama sarva kamo va ityadescha. There is akamatvam is also sangnapita, means is reminding. So this fifth point is reminding, sixth point and also is indicating, fifth point is indicating sixth and seventh. Akinchanatvam and akamatvam. That's the point actually. We are not making any special points in the 6 and 7, but was just we are saying that if from the fifth point we understood that one will do the Sakshat Bhakti for the Krishna Prema only, and not doing the Sakshat Bhakti for other purposes, then it is not Abhideya. So that we understood from this, what is indicated, Akinchanatvam and Akamatvam. Akinchanatvam means not desiring any other things than the Krishna Prema, and Akamatvam means also is same thing. That means so not having any material desires. Akamatvam means there it is said that only akama sarva kamo va moksha kamo udaradihi. Akama means there not having any so material desires. That is also same. That's simply here we are mentioning. This is indicating this.
Here also sarva kama is also there. That means akama, somebody sarva kama is there. You can also practice Sakshat Bhakti. That sense comes like that. Is that?
But they are not really intelligent. That is not the discussion here. So here what is that? So what he wrote in this text, Tanmatra kamanayans bhakti heva akinchanatvam ama akamatvam cha sangnapitam. Akamatvam. We take the only desired one, not the, so here Sakshat Bhakti.
Whatever condition may be, whatever desire one may have, he should practice devotional service, Tibran Bhakti Yogan. So how to understand? There is a recommendation is there, advice is there. One should practice Tibran Bhakti Yogan Ajitam Pursamparam. That is Sakshat Bhakti.
Yes.
Whether kama, akama, sarva kama, moksha kama, whatever condition. So here we say Sachat Bhakti we should not use as a other purpose, only
Yes.
Krishna Prem.
Yes, yes.
But there is recommendation that whatever desire you can practice Sachat Bhakti. So how to reconcile means
Yeah, yeah.
understand.
So see there, what Srila Sukadeva Goswami is saying in that second canto, third chapter. So he is saying that if you better thing is not to desire, but even if you have desire, so do the Sakshat Bhakti only, don't go for the other demigod worship. So that's why he said in that sense actually. So with that sense of, instead of going to the demigods, better doing Sakshat Bhakti for the approaching Sakshat Bhakti for material results is okay. But better than that is what? So even top than that, there is akamatvam. That means worshipping, doing the Sakshat Bhakti only for the pleasure of the Lord. So we always should take the highest one. Of course, different things are discussed in the Shastra, but what is the conclusion that we have to see. So next, that's why in this way, akamatvam is also is indicated here. Gopijan Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can we say here that the obstacles are basically anarthas?
Yes.
The desires doesn't come under the obstacles. Desire is like 5 types of anarthas, dushkrutota, sukrutota, etc., etc. So can we say, because the moment you say that bhakti, if it's a pure bhakti, it is anyabhilashita. So there is no desire separate than Krishna. So what it removes, it destroys is, of course, it's as a side effect, as you rightly say. It removes even the desires, material desires also. But obstacles basically are the anarthas. Is that the way we should understand?
Yes, Prabhu, I understood, Prabhu, your point. So you are seeing the desires somewhat different from the anarthas. But actually, you can say desires are the subtle form of the the desires are coming out of the offenses. So those anarthas only. So that is also, now you say, when you say klesha, so avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. So there that, and also papa, kuta, bijam, prarabdha, prarabdha, avidya, avismita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. So these are the 9 are known as kleshas. There you are seeing kleshas means even vasanas, desires. The desires also considered as the klesha only actually. Which is also known as one kind of anarthas are 4 types. So that's dushkrutota anartha. Dushkrutota anartha means by doing the sinful activities, once again you are developing the sinful desires. So desires are coming from the sinful activities. So that is also known as anartha only, Prabhu. So as the dushkrutota anartha. So that's why in that way, desires are not different from the obstacles or anarthas.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So by doing this bhakti, so those will be also out. So that's why he is saying in this 5th canto, Satyam dishat dishatyarditamartito nrunam naiva tado yat punarardita yata. There it is said that even if you have material desires, if you do Sakshat Bhakti, yeah, this is the point. Best is you should do Sakshat Bhakti for only the Krishna Prema, for the purpose of Krishna Prema. But even if you, but still you have material desires, do the Sakshat Bhakti only. So that what will happen? Ichha pidanam nijapada pallavam. So by that what will happen? So our desires will be closed down. That is the thing which is going to happen. So that's why the highest recommendation is what? So abhideya. Abhideya means recommended for us. So what is recommended? Doing the Sakshat Bhakti for the Krishna Prema. Okay, we'll discuss remaining things tomorrow's class. If not, okay. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada ki.